Today, I'm going to be talking about what it means to be acidic. What exactly does that mean, Jenna? Well, everybody knows that our body temperature needs to be a specific number, and if we go too high above that or too low below that, our body has processes in place that allow us to get back to, what's the number? 98.6. 98.6 degrees is the temperature that our body should be around, and if we get too high above that, we're going to break out in a fever, and it's going to try and bring it down. If we get too low, we're going to start to shiver, right? And then it'll bring it back up. Well, there's another number that is just as important, if not more important, than our body temperature, and that's the pH of our blood. And the pH of our blood needs to be 7.36. Now, that's on a scale of 0 to 14. So 14 is the most alkaline, 0 is the most acidic, and then right in the middle is 7, and that's neutral. And so anything that's above 7 is going to be alkaline, and everything that's below a 7 is going to be acidic. Now, I wanted to do an experiment, so I brought in something called muriatic acid, just to kind of show what it's like to have acid in the body and what it does. Here's my muriatic acid. We got this. This is what my husband uses in our pool. So I actually haven't done this yet, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but I'm thinking I'm going to put it on my skin, and it's going to like maybe turn red a little bit or have some kind of, I don't know. We're about to find out. We'll find out live. So let's see if you can see okay here. All right, here it goes. No! No, I would never do that. This is acid. This will eat a hole through my skin. I went to college. I'm a little smarter than that. I know not to put acid on my skin directly. So instead, what I'm going to do is I have some hamburger meat here. You see it? I have some pink and uncooked, obviously. I'm going to take a little bit of acid and put it right on here and see if it has an effect on the meat. And it's already, yep, it's already starting to turn colors. It looks like it's actually cooking it. And I did test this, I lied. I did test this before the video. 10 minutes ago, this was pink when I started, and now it's dark brown. Look at this, this is already dark brown. This is what acid does to the body, to meat. If you have too much acid in your system, it's so detrimental. And so when we talk about the pH of our blood, we're talking only about the pH of our blood. If I refer to the term I'm acidic or you're acidic or if I eat that I get acidic, it doesn't mean that the pH of my blood becomes acidic. So my blood has to be 7.36 at all times. Now if I fall too much below that, if I fall below a 7, I'm going to go into a coma. And if I stay below 7, I don't get any medical help and they don't bring it back up, I'm going to die. Like, that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Same thing on the other end of it. So our body has processes and organs in place to get us back up to alkaline, or to, if we're too alkaline, to bring us back down to a little bit more neutral. But we need to be 7.36, just very slightly alkaline. And if we get too acidic, way too acidic, then our body is going to go through those processes, but we're going to have symptoms that are going to show us that we're too acidic. And so one of them, the very first one that I get if I'm eating too much acidic food, is well, let me explain it. So this acid right here, if it were to touch my arteries or my veins, it would eat a hole through them. So my body, when I put too much acid into it, is going to try and get it out. It's going to try and expel it at whatever means necessary to get it out of my body. But it can't just send it right out through my bloodstream or through my urine or anything like that, because it would wreak havoc on the body on its way out. So what it did is our creator designed a system where it would wrap it in this coating, this protective shell or protective coating, so that on its way out, it would not eat a hole through our veins and arteries. And that way we can get rid of it with no problem whatsoever. And that protective coating, my friends, is called mucus. What? Yes, mucus. So when our body is coughing up some kind of mucus, whenever we have a cough, it's because our body's trying to get rid of that acid. And so the first thing that we do whenever we have a cough is we go and we buy something, some over-the-counter decongestant or some kind of a cough syrup or something like that, that actually is acidic. So, and it pushes the mucus back into our body. It stops the cough, stopping the symptom, but it pushes it back into our body. So our body goes, oh, I tried to get the acid out that way, but that didn't work. So mucus is one of the biggest ways that our body will get rid of acid. It will come out through our tears or through our nose or coughing it up, anything like that. Another way that it gets rid of it, it has to get rid of the acid, is sometimes it'll come out through our skin, through our pores. So anytime we have clogged pores or we have any kind of skin issues, I wonder if maybe I'm over acid. And then there's one more way. If we get too acidic for too long of a period of time, our body will try all the ways, and it will. It'll ultimately get the blood back up to alkaline. But to what detriment, right? What havoc does it wreak on our body? Well, if it tries to expel it over and over and over, and eventually we just keep pushing more and more acid in, eventually it has to come up with some kind of way to maybe keep it in the body, but keep it insulated, right? Put it in some kind of a coating that it can just kind of tuck it away where nobody's going to see it, nobody's going to use it, it's not going to hit any vital organs, it's not going to be detrimental to the life of the body. And so it's going to find a place that's as far away from the vital organs as possible, going to wrap it in this coating, and then it can just sit there and literally just store and hibernate there and not do anything and just be in its acid. And that protective coating that we put around it is called cellulite. Cellulite, when you get rid of the acid, the cellulite goes away. Nobody understands that that's what cellulite is. I had no idea. Nobody ever taught me that. But as soon as the acid goes away, there's no need for the cellulite anymore. So when I started doing this process, what I did is I started focusing on eating 70% alkaline foods and 30% acidic foods. Yes. The answer here to getting rid of all this acid, this that's in our body, the answer to this is flooding our body with fruits and vegetables. What? Flood my body with alkaline foods, and all of a sudden my energy goes through the roof. All of a sudden, all these symptoms that I've been having from being so acidic for so long, they just go through the roof. The symptoms just go away, but the energy goes through the roof, and we start to feel amazing. So my suggestion is, let's start to up the intake of our fruits and vegetables a little bit.